And with the start button pressed, we are off.
Ooh, just a little red rupee in the first hut, so we gotta look for what's next.
So for any of those that aren't sure about what's going on, this is linked to the past randomizer, where some very clever coding has randomized the locations of all the items in the game. So basically take whatever you know about the routing and item placement of this game and just completely throw it out the window.
Myriachan did a map check and it looks like there might have been a green pendant over at Eastern and a 5/6 crystal over at Tower of Hera.
And Link's uncle giving them the fire rod, so a very, very nice item to start in the game. Of course, they have to be a little careful on their magic, but that is a really powerful weapon to start with. And
Jacob
looks like
gets a
another big 20.
Jacob got a nice bomb drop right there, so he doesn't have to worry about killing any more guards, and he has to.
So as we're going through the escape sequence, which typically takes between 6 and 7 minutes, their main objectives are to get at least one bomb so that they can get into the secret side room at the end of the escape sequence. And also they want to end up with a total of roughly 70 rupees so that they will have 100 by the time they can reach the bottle vendor in Kakariko.
It'll be interesting to see what they get off the tree pulls as well. That could load up on some rupees or some extra bombs so they don't have to go and buy some more.
And another new feature of the current version of Randomizer, which is version 29.2, is the player's ability to choose between... Oh my gosh, there's a blue mail. Very, very nice. It's always good to start out with a good protective item. Anyways, yeah, you can choose between red, green, yellow, and blue, and that's designed for people who might have some color blindness issues so they can see the hearts in their HUD more easily.
Yeah, that blue mail is really nice to have early. It'll give us some extra protection if they get Dark World early, or if they face the crabs trying to get to the Ice Rod Cave.
Also, another feature for those who aren't quite as familiar about Randomizer is the current version of the Randomizer program has, I don't even know, it's somewhere over, I think, 80 different sprites that the players can choose from. So looks like Myriachan is using a Zelda sprite, whereas the CursedAether is using some kind of a shadow girl Link.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what sprite he's using. But then, yeah, a lot of people also use their own custom sprites.
So we're kind of finished with the first part of the escape, heading up to the middle. CursedAether is already set up with his bomb, and Myriachan still has not found one yet.
First, it also looks like he used up a little bit more magic, so he has to be a little bit concerned, but he looks like he has 2 or 3 shots left in his rod.
And of course, with the new version of the randomizer, players now have multiple points that they can save and quit to, and the save and quits will provide refills if necessary. Oh, and there's a triple bomb package in the chest, so now neither player has to worry about bombs for a while.
Yeah, that's really nice because Miri hasn't even found one drop yet. So she doesn't have to worry about coming back here. Chris got the key off the rat right away, while Miri is lighting up the room to see which one it is.
Mariah needs to be a little careful on the fire rod usage.
Ooh, a sword! Well, that's good that they got the bombs then.
Yeah, this side room can be really hit or miss, but finding a first sword this early, that makes the whole seed a heck of a lot easier. Also, an early piece of heart is never bad, because starting out with 3 hearts, especially if they have to do an early Dark World, can be pretty challenging.
Getting a sword early also helps if they find, like, power gloves, so they can do the dark room for finding the old man. Much, much easier.
And how about that red mail in the Sanctuary chest? They are now very, very well protected for the rest of the game.
Let's see if any of them go up by the Lumberjack Cave and see what's on the ledge there. Ooh, a nice 4 bomb pull.
Yeah, I've noticed that some players elect to skip the Lumberjack Cave unless and until they have the boots, since they wouldn't be able to do it anyways. Today, it looks like both are going to check it.
And just a big 20, so Agana might be off the table for now.
Also worth noting that bush crab, or the hoarder, is also a nice thing to check because it provides a consistent item of some kind, and it could be a really nice tool for getting the rupee count higher, or bombs, or anything like that. And at the mushroom location, we have the heart, and we find the Quake medallion at the tree drop. So possible 1/3 chance to not have to worry about a medallion to get into a Turtle Rock or Misery Mire.
And if you notice, Miria also did a second tree pull, so the first one was a tier 2, I believe, because they took damage and killed 4 enemies first. And then that second tree pull was off of the tier 1, which is just kill 1 enemy. And it just turned out to be some hearts.
So now CursedAether is going into the Blinds Hut. 5 items in here, and of course another 5 items in the...
Ooh, silvers and a master sword.
So this seed got a heck of a lot easier, especially if we can maybe pull out an early bow. And there's the power glove. So we are now 1/3 of the way towards our Dark World access.
We're also pretty close to actually having Agnum. All we need is a lamp at this point. Well, there's so many locations left to check that that's not going to be on their mind for a while. So nothing too interesting in the well so far, just some hearts and a air container.
And we get 3 bombs, the single arrow, hopefully they don't use it all at once, and 300 rupees. So that could really help them towards a possible early Zora check.
And the bottle vendor just selling his love today. Ooh, CursedAether missed the chicken clip. Let's see what's in there. Ooh, a bottle. That'll be nice, because the bottle boy is right next to them.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those item locations that can be in the back of your mind for a long time if something very important is in there.
Ooh, bombos. Another medallion. That's a better one to have, because that also allows Ice Palace to be more open.
And bring on the fetch quest. We found the mushroom.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see if any of them turn it in while we're going by Eastern. But it might just sit in their inventory for a very long time.
Just a 5-arrow upgrade in the library, so we're not going to be heading back there anytime.
Curse is just checking the race game, and it just turns out to be bombs, and so does Myriachan.
And it looks like both players now heading down to the fairly usual route of doing the dam and then probably heading over to Mini Moldorm Cave and possibly Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, some runners don't like to go to Ice Rod Cave just because it's so out of the way. Like, it'll be better if they have boots. Not boots. Flippers. They can just swim out of there. Ooh, hook shot from the swamp.
Yeah, some nice rusty metal on the hook shot and then just a big 20 inside the dam. But already this is, with a lamp, that uncovers the possibility of the vast exploration of Light World Death Mountain.
Yeah, one of them might actually elect to go up there right away because there's so many items over there. Mini Moldorm Cave will be super easy with the hook shot. Just one little hit and it'll take one of them out.
Aether getting another really nice 4-bomb drop from one of those Mini Moldorms. Now we have 50 rupees and the bow in Mini Moldorm Cave. So very early bow. Big love, little love, and a 5-bomb upgrade. So this seed definitely is starting to open up.
Miria is electing to save and quit right away, where Ethers looks like he's going up to go to the Ice Rod Cave. With save and quit to Link's house is an indication they're going to Eastern first before going up to Death Mountain.
Now this is a really good strategy. Not only can you check the cave of what I call shish kebab and the 3 items in his back room, but it's also a good time to do a dip into Eastern if they so choose. Since Eastern is available so early in the game, the chances of it having an important item is pretty high.
Miria went the long way around to get to Eastern before even checking Sahasrahla. And it doesn't seem like the Ice Rod Cave play really made a difference.
So Myriachan opens the first chest and gets the compass. Meanwhile, CursedAether is deciding to go ahead and do the shish kebab check first.
red ring, bug net, and a piece of heart. Nothing too important there.
And Myriachan finding the big key.
So she'll be able to open up that big key chest before even going to the dark room. Just keeps it in logic.
I'm guessing with the silver arrows in tow and the bow, we'll probably see our first sequence break with Myriachan going ahead and traversing the dark rooms and probably beating Armos to get what I believe is the green pendant.
That is correct. Then afterwards they can also turn it in, which is maybe why she routed it this way. Just do it all in one go. CursedAether picking up his big key now. And Myria having no trouble at all in that second dark room with all the skeletons in there. Had little trouble with the damage boost to get that chest open, and it was just another 20.
So that means the Armos Knights, I believe, have the third item, and looks like she's heading there right now.
Oh, she's farming up some magic drops so she can light the torches right away so she can see the room better.
Yeah, definitely knowing the locations of some of the lamps is very, very nice. This particular room and also the long vertical dark room in Pod, they also have lanterns by each door.
Yep, CursedAether looks like he is also going to go and do the dark rooms to kill the Armos Knights. And with the silver arrows, this will be no problem at all to kill them. Ooh, CursedAether going through that room without even lighting the torches. And going through it very well, very fast.
Myriachan making short work of the Armos Knights and getting her green pendant. I'm guessing she'll probably go turn that in and check Shish Kebab's back room at the same time.
Ooh, CursedAether takes a fall. That'll take some time off of him. Just a 5 bomb upgrade, so green pendant not really worth much. Yes, the only location that's logically open now would be Zora, the mushroom, and Agina's cave, and looks like Myriachan might be going to Agina's cave.
Yeah, Gina's Cave is one of those locations that it's just never a good time to go there because it's so far out of the way. Obviously, the least bad time is probably when you're visiting Desert Palace, but either way, it's quite a few screen transitions to get in and out, and there's just nothing really nice about it.
Yeah, they usually put it off until they get boots or a flute, some way to get over the desert much faster.
Oh, and Myriachan choosing to farm some rupees, so I'm guessing she's probably going to do the Zora play.
Yeah, it makes sense to get it over here because she can also check Agina's first and then make her way over by Zora.
And CursedAether is starting his Armos fight.
Alright, Mirror's checking the desert ledge first and just a piece of heart. CursedAether will soon be finding out that the green pennant's not worth anything. Just a 20 in Agina's cave, so that long trek also didn't pay off.
Maria saving quit to Sanctuary. Looks like for a moment, nope, it looks like she's not going to go up to Death Mountain just yet.
Do you think she might be going down to fake Flipper over to Zora?
That'd probably be the best play right now. There aren't a whole lot of locations left in the light world that I can think of, and although right now we don't have the Moon Pearl, which means the only location that she can actually get is Zora himself.
CursedAether walking from Eastern Palace up to the witch's hut. Oh no, she hasn't checked Ice Cave first. Ice Rod Cave. Ooh, flute over at the witch's hut.
Now that is a great find. That's their Death Mountain access, not to mention just general faster routing. I'm sure going right over to Sanctuary, heading to Kakariko to activate that flute.
And CursedAether getting it first will actually help him gain some of that time back after that death in Eastern.
Looks like Myriachan is still setting up to do the fake flipper up to Zora. Still not a bad idea, because it is an item that's opened her. She has enough rupees. Might as well go check it.
She's going to Hobo first. She didn't check the Lake Hylian Island.
And the hobo living under the bridge, but still manages to find some arrows for her to give away. So, and Maria immediately doing another fake flipper from Hobo, and looks like she's going to head down and go up to Zora. That's one of those fake flippers I have not learned, though it definitely helps with routing, even if it is a sequence break. And we have just a 10 bomb refill on the Lake Hylia Island.
And CursedAether looks like he's helping the old man get back home. So for the fake flippers, you just need to be on the edge of the screen transition, and then jump off, and then in the 1 pixel, or the few pixels, you gotta be able to screen transition while you're in the water. And while you're fake flippering, if you take any hit, you'll die immediately.
Yeah, that was actually a new feature programmed into the randomizer. In the vanilla game, if you were to do that fake flipper and get hit by any enemy, it actually results in a soft lock. So they did, even though it does cause a death, it's actually a little safer to do it because it doesn't end your run.
Ooh, CursedAether also found boots over in Spectacle Rock.
And
Nothing on
Zora
top.
having the goods. How about that? Titan's mitts from Zora for 500 bucks. One of the few times where I've seen a really good investment of 500.
Yeah, one of the best things she can get. All she needs now is the Moon Pearl. Then on the Zora ledge as well was another sword upgrade, so who knows if they'll come back to get that.
And of course, with CursedAether finding the boots, that turns everything from a slow walk to a speed run, and that's what this is all about today.
Yeah, and it opens up a few locations as well. Alright, let's see what East Death Mountain has in hold for us today.
Yep, CursedAether starting out in the so-dubbed Paradox Cave because you fall down and end up higher than where you are. And wow, talk about luck. How about Flippers and Moon Pearl in the first 2 chests? We have Dark World access, people.
Yeah, those flippers will lead him over to go and do Zora area. He just needs the last 20, and there it is.
And there's the lamp in the 5 chest room, so we now have resolved the sequence break caused by any darkroom access. And fairly early too, I've seen the lamp in some pretty trolly locations depending on the seed.
Yes, finding Lamp in Turtle Rock is always fun. So CursedAether doesn't have a hammer, so he can't get to Tower of Hair just yet, and doesn't have the mirror either. He's just gonna check the floating island and then go down through Spiral Cave.
And of course, looking at especially CursedAether's item count, even not knowing what dungeons in the Dark World are required, we seem to be getting pretty darn close to a go mode situation here.
Yeah, depending on what we need, we would just need either the mirror, Canis Maria, hammer of course, or the ice rod possibly.
Now, Myriachan actually has a little bit of an advantage here because of her going up to Zora and getting that Titan's Mitt. She's going to be able to finish up Spiral Cave and then immediately pull the rock and go to Dark World Death Mountain if she wants, saving a little bit of time.
Yeah, being able to do Eastside Death Mountain in one trip is always nice. Because it could have Hookshot Cave getting all the next progression items.
And between having both the blue and red mail really early and 9 hearts right now, this is turning out to be a very healthy seed as well. Alright, we have a map check of the Dark World. I saw blue pennant in Pod, red pennant in Misery Mire. I did not see where the other 5/6 crystal was.
Yeah, such a fast map check that I missed it too. CursedAether now talking to Zora to get his Dark World access. And in Super Bunny Cave, we have a piece of heart and some bombs. CursedAether getting the flippers out also helps because he also gets the Tempered Sword first, where Maria might not go back and grab that. Turtle Rock is Ether, so they don't have that yet.
So now that we've seen the Dark World map, we know we're going to have Hammer required, Ice Rod, Mirror, and Cane of Samaria.
Hookshot Cave not turning up to have anything today. Just some arrows, capacity upgrades, some bombs, not much.
And CursedAether now exploring the area around Thieves Town in the Dark World. Nothing of note in the chest game, but this is a great place to explore. 3 items that are all accessible right away, and then at the very least checking all 4 of the first chests in Thieves Town. But depending on how he feels, he might go ahead and try to complete that right away.
Yeah, Myriachan's following the boots and just checking King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks real quick. CursedAether finding 300 more rupees over in the Sea House. Myriachan's going up to Skull Woods, while CursedAether went to Thieves Town instead.
Skullwoods is a really good play. I like this one. She can go in there, she can full clear it, and at least in some of the more recent versions of the randomizer, Skullwoods has tended to have at least one item of significant value.
CursedAether finding 300 more rupees, 305 rupees over in Thieves Town. That's 2 of the 4 items gone. We're getting the big key right away in Skullwoods. We'll let her check this big chest first, without having to double back and grab it later.
But only finding the compass in the big chest. I don't think we've actually found a single unique item in Skull Woods yet.
Ooh, CursedAether getting a really good dash through that hellway.
I believe that has to be pixel perfect, right?
Yeah, it's very difficult to get right away. The mirror not having Candace and Mario, she has to pull that block, which takes a bit of time, especially with those Gibdos getting in the way.
And she pulls out the fire wad and says, yeah, go away. And finding the ice rod in Skullwoods, so that's a very nice item, with the ice rod being able to be literally anywhere on the map except for Trinax. That is a really good find, knowing that you don't have to go and search for and find that later.
It was in a really convenient location. She doesn't have to worry about thinking about Turtle Rock just yet. She still needs 2 items to get in there. 3. And a piece of heart found in Blind Cell.
And as Myriachan heads to the Mothula fight, might be worth taking a look at what could possibly be on the pedestal. Do we have any pedestal hype left for this seed?
And then for the Thieves Town, they have the small key to get to the big chest, but they don't have the hammer to actually access it. So they're really hoping that the last item is on blind.
I do believe at this point that all the required items that they haven't found, except for the hammer, could be on the pedestal.
No, Candace and Maria can't be there because you need it for Misery Maya. Miria saved a whole lot of magic used for this moth fight. And clearly takes it down.
Yeah, she did a really good job of dodging all those traps to take away that Mothula, especially only having the Master Sword at this point. As CursedAether begins his dip into Skullwoods.
Miri going back and checking that last chest over in Skull Woods. Yeah, with 2 unique items over in Skull Woods, it couldn't have been anything of value.
So with her not saving and quitting, I'm guessing her next step is going to be heading over into Thieves Town herself.
Yeah, so they're just exchanging places for now. And CursedAether taking the long route to get the big chest instead of the bomb jump. Ooh, Mary is going to go check Bumper Cave, see if there's anything there. She does have the cave to get through it. And it's the hammer!
Well, there you go. Another one of those absolutely critical items, and that should open up quite a few options for her now.
Yeah, helping the old man gave his shirt off his back really pays off.
CursedAether picking up his ice rod. And Myriachan heading back down to the village of outcasts with the Titan's mitts. In addition to the other locations in Village of Outcasts, she has the ability to do the Peg Cave and the Frog Rescue, as well as the Purple Chest if she so chooses.
Yeah, the Purple Chest quest will take a little bit longer if she doesn't have the flute, or CursedAether did find that. But with the hammer and toad, they got a whole map to open up and look at.
And of course, probably one of the biggest locations that they've opened up now, even though it's a pendant dungeon, is actually Pod, with 5 unique items, and they have everything they need to enter and full clear that dungeon.
CursedAether also pulled out his lamp for that torch room, also saving magic for the moth fight. CursedAether with 3.5 hearts has to be careful for what's on the ground, all those traps flying by. Ooh, and he takes a death to Moth.
Yeah, I pretty much consistently say Mothula, in terms of dungeons, is definitely the most difficult boss. You know, his movements are so random. He likes to stay in that corner, and then, you know, despite all that, then you have the floor moving and all those traps. It is just, you know, it's almost like one of the randomizer designers decided to design that boss.
Yeah, the more annoying thing about that fight is if you hit Moth into a spike, he will not take any damage. Having no magic, he decides not to return to the fight, so he has that on his mind that there's one item left.
And CursedAether now going back into the dark world of Village of Outcasts. I'm guessing he's probably going to get a couple of those Titan's Mint locations and maybe head down into Hype Cave.
And Myriachan has to be really happy that she found the hammer first, even though we know it's not going to pay off. At least for the Thieves Town big chest. How many digs will it take? Oh, only 7, and it's for 50 rupees.
Well, I suppose if you're going to find something that at this stage is fairly useless, having to not dig 30 times to get there is definitely helpful.
Alright, what does Stumpy have for us? Just a 5-er. CursedAether going to go check Hype Cave while Rhea is finishing up Thieves Town.
Hype Cave is so named because in a lot of the previous versions of Randomizer, it definitely had a lot of hype. Today, not so much, but we'll see what it has in store for him today.
Yeah, they found most of the big ticket items, so I don't really expect much from it here now.
Although the mirror, that's a big one. And of
That
course,
cave definitely proved me wrong.
yeah, I would definitely not call that a disappointment cave today. Of course, since CursedAether has not found the hammer yet, not able to immediately dive into Swamp Palace.
Yeah, all we really need now is Candace Samaria and that Ether medallion, and then we have Go mode. Feeling of a blue pot is always nice, have a little bit of safety in your future endeavors.
And CursedAether going back into the Dark World at Kakariko. I wonder if getting ready to do a bumper cave check and picking up his hammer.
He also has the mirror, so he might go down and escort the frog first.
And as I recall, CursedAether has not done any of the bonk locations, so he'll be able to route in not only picking up his hammer at Bumper Cave, but be able to do Bonk Rocks, Sanctuary Ledge, as well as King's Tomb.
Yeah, it's really nice to knock off those 4 locations, because they can be quite out of the way.
And Myriachan now doing what I call the tour of Jeremiah, showing him around the world before eventually delivering him back home. Of course, being stuck behind those rocks this whole time, it's probably pretty nice to get out and see a few sights.
And doing hammer pegs the fun way. Always a bonus.
But only finding 20 big ones.
Yep, CursedAether pushing that mirror advantage and checking all those locations at once.
And Myriachan heading over to Hype Cave, and she's going to get her mirror and probably save and quit and deliver Jeremiah back where he belongs. Worth noting, she is still having to route things a little more slowly because she has not turned in her mushroom to get her flute yet.
It'll be really interesting to see how far the frog is to go. if she goes all the way up to Catfish and turns into her mushroom at the same time.
CursedAether now with the Riot Shield, very well protected in pretty much every way now.
It'll make Laser Bridge a lot easier in Turtle Rock. And it looks like he's heading down to Pod Pyramid area. And with that divergence and little bit of back and forth, they're both going to get up by Catfish.
Yeah, we're just about ready to do a high five here.
Mira's going to be so happy seeing that she gets the flute right here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if she continues on to Catfish or just nopes out and goes to cash in that flute.
And Catfish enjoys that you fed him today.
At this stage, pieces of heart really aren't necessary, but I almost ever argue with getting a full heart container from anywhere.
Kind of interested to know where CursedAether's going. Oh, I'm going to go finish up Skull Woods. Probably feels a lot more comfortable now that he bodied Blue Potion.
And Myriachan throwing a bottle into the water. I've actually almost never seen this in a rando seed. And the fairy giving blue bottles for free. Very, very nice.
Yeah, I believe in version 29, if you just walk up to it, it automatically just throws an empty bottle in, so you don't have to worry about going through your inventory.
And it looks like Maria's heading up to get her red sword as well. I think that's a very good idea because in terms of fighting Ganon, I know that the red sword only does double the damage, but in terms of how it feels like you're doing probably 4 times the amount of damage. Plus, you can use regular slashes instead of having to rely on spins.
There's a lot of rooms that are a lot easier when you have the tempered sword. And it makes the Ganon fight much more enjoyable than having to charge up spin slashes the whole time.
And of course, with both players having silver arrows, Ganon should pretty much be a non-issue for them.
Myria did go and grab her tempered sword from the Zora area while she was over there.
So I'm not exactly sure where the additional progressive shield came from, but besides that difference, both players having exactly the same items, so very much a super close race at this point, only needing the Cane of Samaria as well as the Ether Medallion in order to get into Turtle Rock in order to complete this game.
And the second fight with Moth went a lot cleaner, and the blacksmiths only gave a bomb upgrade. Quake is the medallion to open up Meyer, and they have that one. And there's the third medallion over in the Meyer area shed.
That's another one of those really nice places to check. Super fast, accessible once you get that flute and the gloves, the mitts.
So Myriachan looks like she's just doing the dungeon she can do at this point. CursedAether finding his big 20 over in the head cave.
So right now, both players have everything they need to complete every dungeon except for Turtle Rock. So we should be able to go pretty quickly and easily through Desert, Tower of Hera, Swamp, and Ice.
Yeah, expect as soon as they get that Cane of Samaria, they're just gonna go into go mode and not check anything else.
Right, with both players having the red sword, both players having the silver arrows, there's really no reason to do it other than, looking for those big keys in each dungeon. But other than that, yeah, no reason to waste any time.
And if they're able to find it before having to dip into swamp or ice, those ones will be going by really fast. The Cursed is actually bringing the lunchbox over to Gary.
And finding the Cane of Berna. Not really necessary at this point, but certainly not a terrible safety item for those who don't have the cape.
Alright, Miri going Fire Rod strats for the Land Molus fight. Only needs 2 hits per Land Molus.
Very nice clean fight, polishing off that last one with a Fire Rod shot and waiting for the snake to come right to her for that final hit.
They're checking the desert ledge before heading into that area. Myria going back in to check the big key, I'd imagine.
So I'd say so far this has been a pretty quick seed. We're coming up on the hour mark. Things are going pretty smoothly. We only need 1 item left for go mode.
Yeah, they found most of the items very quickly, and it gave them a lot of money, so they don't have to farm up money before going to Zora as well. Both players checking checkerboard just to find 10 arrows in there.
So what I really love about these matchups is here you have 2 players. They started out together. their routes diverged very quickly, and now they kind of met back up in the desert region.
It's pretty interesting to see that they also both made pretty much the same sequence breaks before finding the lamp as well. Myria is going to go into swamp right away. Let's see
Yeah,
if
it'll
she
be
checks
interesting.
left side or not.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, the left side is something that can be very lucrative, but it's also something that can take quite a bit of extra time. And right now there are still, several other dungeons that can be full cleared that might also have that Cane of Samaria.
Even though they have access to Tower of Hera, I think they're just gonna wait until they find that cane or get close down to it. Just get both the dungeons off Death Mountain at the same time. Piece of Heart being the first of 6 items in Swamp.
So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and guess that Cane of Samaria is going to end up being in the Ice Palace. Ice Palace is the remaining dungeon that, at least in my experience, has always had some kind of progression in it.
CursedAether gonna clear up his 3rd crystal dungeon. There's a 20 in the next swamp chest. Still nothing very necessary.
It looks like Myria's going to go ahead and check out that left side. I think at this point it's a good idea. You're already here. No sense in coming back into the dungeon unnecessarily. CursedAether polishing up the land mullahs and getting the 3rd crystal.
I kind of hope he goes into ice before going to swamp.
Yeah, I think ice is one of those palaces that many runners, myself included, have a tendency to put off until the very end, just because depending on the item placement and whether you get that small key in the first chest, it can be a real pain to route that thing efficiently. And Myriachan finding the big key, that's really, really nice, not having to backtrack after going upstairs.
Yeah, depending on what's on the big key chest, it might not have been worth it to go to the left side here.
And finding a big heart in the big chest in Swamp Palace. Did you happen to notice what was in Spike Cave? I totally missed that one.
No, I didn't see it.
It looks like CursedAether is choosing to check out Tower of Hera first. I like this one, versus going to Swamp. Tower of Hera, even though it's so close to Ganon's Tower, it is a much faster check, and if it ends up having the Cane of Samaria, it means that he's going to be able to go mode both Swamp and Ice, which can really be a time saver for him.
Yeah, another piece of heart for Myriachan over in Swamp.
So far, finding just the map and the big key, so I believe we can deduce at this point that one of the... oh. Never mind.
Try to saying there's a piece of heart over in Spike Cave. And this Argus fight is one that is a lot quicker once you had the Tempered Sword. Just a 50 in the big chest in Tower of Hera.
So I believe that leaves us with the compass and the second item. Always a good idea to gamble on Trolldorm or Moldorm having that item.
Yeah, no one ever wants to go down in the basement and take a little coffee break. Unfortunately, if there is something there, both players will have to do it.
And 2 swings of the red sword. Moldorm goes down and gives him 50 more rupees.
And Myria being the first one to check the cave south of Grove here just to find a bottle of green goo. Which will be helpful if she doesn't find half magic before Turtle Rock. While CursedAether is going to check Dark Death Mountain, Myria is going to make the ice play.
Yeah, in terms of items, this is actually a good play. You have 3 items that are unique versus 2, even if it is a longer dungeon.
Then Cursed can also make the big pyramid play, big berry.
And Myria having the powder in the first chest, so a very, very nice safety item, being able to turn anti-fairies into fairies, but also opening up another potential fetch quest for an item. Meanwhile, CursedAether is checking out the Hookshot Cave, and as I recall, this one had a whole lot of nothing in it.
Yeah, there wasn't anything of great value here. And ice is actually one of those dungeons that's also very easy once you get the Tempered Sword, being able to spin slash those penguins in one hit, as well as making the boss much, much easier and faster.
Perfect bomb jump setup by Maria. Of course, since they don't have the Cane of Samaria, being able to do that bomb jump, and oh my gosh, she falls down and has to do it all over again.
Yeah, kind of going a little bit too quick there and kind of lost her footing. And Cursed is going to go into Swamp now. Oh, never mind. He is going to go take the big bomb over.
Yeah, my guess is he's probably trying to avoid going into Swamp or Ice until absolutely necessary, because he knows how much faster it is to go mode those two dungeons.
There's also the possibility that it could be in Mire. And if
And
it's
we
on
also
the left side
haven't-
of Mire, it'll be
we
a
also-
long trek.
Yeah, we also haven't seen us either runner go into Palace of Darkness, which of course is full clearable at this point. And another fetch quest item found. CursedAether finding the shovel in the Pyramid Fairy room.
Yeah, with the Bow of the Lamp, Pod does make sense to go check it, because there is 5 items there, and it's not that long. Chris is going to go pick up his bottle now from the cave south of Grove.
And Myria finding the big key. I don't think I've seen her find any other notable items in Ice Palace yet.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of keys so far.
So for those of you just joining us, this is Zelda A Link to the Past Randomizer. We're watching Myriachan versus CursedAether. We're about 14 minutes into the seed. Both players just one item shy of go mode. We're searching for the Cane of Samaria, which will grant them access to complete Turtle Rock.
So CursedAether also looped in the shovel check, which just had the bloomerang.
And there it is! Ice Palace Big Chest. Myriachan is in go mode.
Let's see how long it takes for CursedAether to go check Ice Palace. I assume he's gonna go straight after it after Swamp, because it is a crystal dungeon.
So all in all, this looks like it's been a pretty nice seed. No required dip into pod, no required dip into Misery Mire. And both of those dungeons are dungeons that can easily take quite a while depending on routing.
That was a pretty good fight on Cold Stare. Didn't lock him into the corner, but didn't take that much damage either.
Cold Stare is one of those dangerous bosses. Despite being only Palace number 5, he does a very considerable amount of damage.
And with a save and quick going up to Mountain, she can go from Tower of Hera straight to Turtle Rock, then to Ganon's Tower, all in one go. Oh, never mind. She's going to Turtle Rock first before going to Tower of Hera, which I think might take a little bit longer because you have to run all the way back to the Turtle Rock portal to get back to the Dark World. Wait, Curse did not go to the left side of Swamp. It's going straight to the back. It's a lot faster and has a good amount of items. Oh wait, Chad is telling me that Turtle Rock first, then going over and mirroring is actually faster. Learn something new every day.
And of course, with Myriachan being in Turtle Rock, she's on her final dungeon. Everything else is done. She has every single item she could possibly need. There's nothing for her to check, just getting enough small keys and the big key. And chat reminding me that she has not actually completed Tower of Hera, so yes, that is one more crystal she has to get.
But it's a nice quick dungeon and the big key is right on the left there, so it won't take that long.
And CursedAether getting his crystal from Swamp. Hopefully his next play is going to be to go directly to Ice Palace, where he's going to find his King of Samaria and enter Go mode.
And he did complete Tower of Hera. But even so, Turtle Rock is kind of a long ways, even in Go mode. Oh, CursedAether going back in to check left side because he knows there's one item over there, one or two.
Unfortunately, we know that's not going to give him what he needs.
Ooh, Miria is stealing a key from this side room here, so she doesn't even have to do laser bridge if she gets lucky and finds the key before the big chest.
And of course able to save a little bit of time by not checking the vanilla big key chest.
Yeah, this is a really quick go mode. Aside from Candace and Mario being in a kind of odd location, everything was given to them pretty quickly.
Yeah, I was surprised that even when we got to the half an hour mark, we were, pretty well equipped in terms of items remaining. Myriachan opening up the big chest to get a Vitor bottle.
Yeah, then because she did check that big chest, it's guaranteed that she doesn't even have to do laser bridge. She can just run straight through and fight the boss. You're pulling out the hookshot to avoid some damage on this little fun ride.
With all the seeds I've seen, I've never actually seen someone do that. That's a great idea to save a few precious hearts.
Ooh, Cursed is going to pod next instead of ice.
Oh no! Oh my gosh. He's right there. He could have done Ice Palace.
Yeah, especially since he can full clear it too.
Well, perhaps this just illustrates what I said earlier about players trying to avoid Ice Palace. Unfortunately, this time it's probably going to cost him. Meanwhile, Myria doing a great job on silencing Trinex.
It's been a super clean fight. Didn't even paint the floor at all.
And Trinex goes down. So she only has Tower of Hera left as she gets another $20 for her trouble.
Cursed rechecking his map to make sure which ones are the pendant or not. Decides that because Pod is a pendant, he's going down to ice.
And that's excellent. He's going to go in there. He's going to complete it. He'll get his crystal. He'll get his can of Samaria. He'll be in go mode. And we're still pretty early on the timer. We haven't even hit the hour-and-a-half mark.
Yeah, but at this point, when the seed gave you this many items right away, it's kind of hard to think, like, did my opponent go somewhere else and find the Cane of Samaria right away, and are they in go mode? They both might be feeling a little bit of pressure.
Myriachan going upstairs in Tower of Hera. This is going to be a really fast Tower of Hera, not searching for anything, just heading straight up to Moldorm. And while she's on her way there, if you like what you're seeing tonight, you have two wonderful runners. giving their time to entertain us. Be sure to follow both of them, Myriachan and CursedAether, on Twitch.
Yeah, they're both super solid players in looks of it. Aside from the little bit of falls Cursed had, but can't fault them. Dark Room and Watila being both pretty difficult.
And Myriachan easily taking down Moldorm. And for those of you who are around for a while, there's a little game we like to play at this point in the game. It's Find the Big Chi in Ganon's Tower. So enter your suggestions in the chat, 1 to 22. Which chest location is Myria going to find the big key in?
Just gonna go check right side first. Fairly quick 6 chests. Finding key allows for you to go over to the right real quick.
Going right past and not wanting to have anything to do with that lovely tile room. Although I personally have found the big key in that room quite a few times. Meanwhile, CursedAether is still working his way through Ice Palace. He should be getting his big key and opening the big chest pretty soon.
Looks like he might have avoided those couple of chests up above. 'Cause he didn't go and grab that chest right away. Nope. The end tower big key is not in 6.
And the Bonk Lantern having a small key, so Rip Bob. We will not be seeing him today on Mariah's side.
I think that counts as a chest location. I think that might be 7.
Yes, that was 7. So 8 is bombs, 9 is a compass, 10 is small key, and 11 an arrow upgrade. So still no luck finding that big key.
CursedAether made his way back up and about to go grab the big key and find his cane.
And Myriachan just finding a single green rupee, so her search continues.
Yeah, that big key is looting us.
Now checking the randomizer room, so-called because that's the only time you ever want to go into this room. I don't know what it has during the normal game, but doesn't have much of anything. And I think I've lost count. Was that number 17 that we've checked so far?
I was looking at CursedAether getting his go mode finally. But we can count the chest backwards. I believe there's only 4 spots left.
Okay, it's 5 because we have Bob's chest, the 3 behind Ice Armos, and the tile room. And it's not in Bob's chest. The search continues as we have Armos on Ice, presented by Zelda Randomizer.
Nice clean fight there. Silver's helping a lot.
And there it is. Chest number 20?
I believe that was 20.
20. So everyone in chat, if you chose 20, you win. Congratulations.
And a nice little red potion on top of that. And Cursed getting his 6th crystal, having to make his way to Turtle Rock now.
So at this point, it's definitely Myria's race to lose. She has done absolutely amazingly today. Her routing has been good, her play has been really good, and she just made really excellent decisions. CursedAether also doing extremely well, just being a little bit behind going into Turtle Rock right now.
Yeah, at one point it seemed like she might have been behind, not finding that flute right away. But it didn't give her too much of an advantage. Not finding it.
So Myria going through the gauntlet. This is a lovely collection of rooms with difficult monsters, traps, ice, moving floors, and pretty much all the nasty things that are in the game somewhere represented here. But Myria doing a really good job and heading over to the Landmollas 2 fight.
Yeah, not having any troubles at all in these monster rooms. And 1.5 cycles on the Landmollas fight.
And Myria going into 2 of my favorite rooms. The 2 rooms that have the enemies you can kill with the Cane of Samaria. You know, one of those things that it's so simple to learn, and it looks so neat when it gets pulled off correctly. And CursedAether making his way through Turtle Rock right now. Only a few minutes behind.
Yeah, super satisfying to get a nice triple kill off of the Cane of Samaria.
And Myria completely ignoring those 2 chests. She doesn't need them. Continuing on and making her way towards the final rooms of Ganon's Tower. Still doing extremely well. Performing flawlessly. Oh, and taking a fall to Trolldorm. Fortunately, she can probably do that about 20 more times without having to worry about it, but and the final chest in the game just giving them 100 rupees, so never finding half magic. Probably hidden somewhere in Ganon's tower.
There's a bunch of overworld spots they haven't checked. Well, hidden dungeons.
True, that's a good point. They never checked Pod or Misery Mire. Getting a couple really nice setups there for Agnum too. And that's it.
Triple, double, single?
I believe so. Yeah, that was a really good 3-cycle fight. CursedAether about halfway through Ganon's Turtle Rock, and Myriachan is ready to face off against Ganon. I think she still has a green potion and a blue potion in her inventory, so she should be perfectly good for this fight.
You have a potion of each color and a bee next to her. And CursedAether did steal the key from that side room as well.
So as Myriachan is finishing up her Ganon fight, just another reminder, make sure to follow these two wonderful runners on Twitch. They're spending their time and talent entertaining us, and they've done a superb job tonight.
Right in the second stage. And now the third for Ganon, making it look super easy.
Using her red potion just to kind of make sure she's good to go. I don't think she has anything to worry about at all. And Ganon asking, did you find the silver arrows in the light world? Well, yes we did. Thank you very much. And Maria getting a double, and that's it.
And a very quick time, too.
And that's it. GG, Myriachan. I'd say overall this was a really good, pretty friendly seed without too much troll items or anything like that. This has been an excellent run. CursedAether is about to head into his Trinex fight. And we'll try to get Myriachan into the channel to give us her thoughts on the seed.
Yeah, sub 140 is a very fast time. CursedAether working on fighting Trinex. Pops the second head without having any magic left. And down goes Trinex. So Aether will be making his way over to Ganon's tower. Let's see if he goes left or right side first. If he goes left, it'll be a little bit quicker than Miria did. With the credits rolling over on Miria's side, you'll see what's on pedestal.
And CursedAether decides to head back upstairs rather than checking the extra 4 chests on the right-hand side.
We've seen a few runners do this. Just takes no time at all to check those first two. Then might as well go to the left side and get the bulk of it. Making his way on through the firebar room, takes a small hit or two. And just some couch cash. Miria is in the waiting room right now, so we get her in a second.
Miria, GG. Excellent routing, excellent performance tonight.
Thank you. Is my voice coming in okay?
Hope we hear you.
So what did you think of this seed?
Oh, I was so worried at first because, like, I did Eastern Palace and there was nothing there, and I kind of skipped a few things, and I was just paranoid the whole time that I was behind already.
Yeah, I was wondering how you felt about the flute location when you turned in the mushroom.
At that point, I already knew that something important was at the mushroom because everything else was eliminated. So I just needed to find a place to route it in. I thought it would be the lamp, but yeah, Ocarina, same thing.
I would say that's one of the big things that really helped speed things along for you was you found the flute quite a bit earlier than your opponent did.
Yeah, I kind of eliminated everything else, so I knew that something good had to be there, so I worked it into the route where I would go up to Catfish while I was getting the Tempered Sword. Sorry about the mic. I'm just I need a good mic, like Village had said. It was really nice playing the entire game with red mail. That was cool.
Yeah, getting that right after leaving the sewers, the escape. And then finding silver so early too, along with the bow, just made everything seem like it was a lot easier.
Yeah, a lot of times the bow is a trolley item because it blocks 2 dungeons and all that. It's
And
always
even,
great. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and even finding the red sword fairly early, knowing that Ganon was just not going to be a problem at all.
Yep. And even though it took, like, a good 45 seconds to get the tempered sword in addition to the route, but it was still worth it.
Yeah, and we never found any other swords, so if you hadn't done that, it definitely would have been a much less enjoyable fight.
Yep, between Cold Stare and Ganon, yeah.
I'd even say try next too, so you don't have to fight that with the Master Sword.
Yeah, hammer strats are not fun against Trinex either.
I
I
would
think
say one thing that kind of made this seed unique was the real lack of any really troll item. I mean, everything was pretty much found quickly, and even the go mode item was right in the normal path of a dungeon you would have to do anyways. Never had to go into mire or pod.
Yeah, I thought it would be a horrible seed where I'd have to go to both of them. Because, I was down to 1 item for quite a while there, and then just like, okay, I gotta do Ice and Swamp. I wish I had done Ice before Swamp, of course. Because then I would have been able to go mode Swamp as well.
Yeah, when you were in the desert area for the first time, or the only time, you checked what the medallion was for Meyer, and you were actually able to go in there.
It's
What
true,
made you?
but I didn't have Cane of Samaria I wouldn't have been able to complete it, and it's only 2 items in there, so I had higher priorities.
With Swamp Palace having so many more locations to check, what was it that made you decide to do that before Ice Palace?
Well, precisely because it has more locations. More chances of getting the Cane of Samaria. Although the number of times that Cane of Samaria has been in Ice Palace compared to Swamp Palace is pretty big for me.
And Swamp Palace, really did have a whole lot of nothing this time, despite having its 6 item locations.
And Ice Palace only had that 1 item. That was probably the first seed in which I've ever done like Hera last like that. That doing Turtle Rock and then mirroring the outside of Ganon's Tower to go to Hera. I've never needed to route like that, but this feature made me do it.
Yeah,
Well, it is nice that. Go ahead.
your opponent didn't go to Zora first like you did. You fake flippered over there, so you actually had Dark World access the first time you went to Death Mountain, where Aether had, when he decided to go between either Swamp or Death Mountain, he chose Death Mountain first, which also took a lot of time back.
Yeah, I can see that. I kind of felt they checked Zora too early. However, there weren't that many things left.
And CursedAether, almost at the top of Ganon's tower, doing the bomb room just before Trolldorm 2, who managed to take a little bit of bite out of you, Myria.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't my greatest Moldorm performance ever.
Although I did take note that you landed right in the middle of the spike trap, so at least there wasn't the additional insult to injury.
Yeah.
And actually, worth noting, CursedAether taking a fall on Trolldorm of his own, so yeah, Trolldorm strikes again today.
I did have a sword ding against the second attempt that I did of Moldorm 2, and I could have sworn I crossed the middle, and I was so worried that I was going to softlock it at Aghanim 2. You know, the so-called quadrant glitch.
I've actually never heard of that one.
Nor have I.
Yeah, there's like imaginary lines in the center of those large rooms, like that are divided into 4 quadrants, and if you sword ding off of anything, and it causes you to cross that boundary on that exact frame, when you scroll in that direction in a door next time, it'll scroll forever and soft lock you. It's really bad. Happened to somebody in the weekly.
So CursedAether finishing up his Aghanim 2 fight, so far getting a triple in round 1, and lined up really nicely in round 3 for another triple. So that's it. He's completed Aghanim 2. He's on to Ganon.
I'll have to get you guys a video of it, of the soft lock, but nice. You did pretty good on Aghanim 2 as well. The same triple that I did. That was such an easy triple shot.
Yeah, I felt like both of you had a really nice setup, not too difficult to get those multi-hit shots.
Ganon wasn't my best fight ever, but it worked.
Yeah, you took some damage, but that second phase, you kind of just sat in the corner and was able to slash him a lot of times.
Yeah, I had 2 potions, and with Tempered Sword, yeah, I was like don't care mode.
And CursedAether using cape strats to get around the fire bats. That's always my preference. Those, for some reason, I have a complete inability to dodge those things.
When I see like Andy and such do that, oh my god, it's crazy. I don't know how the heck they do that, because that is really hard.
Oh, like dashing into Ganon?
Yeah, that, and then seemingly to always avoid the dang bats.
I think in this type of thing, there's always certain people that have kind of risen above the level of the game to where they're barely even needing to try. They're that good.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that, but geez, the amount of practice those guys have put into it.
Just
And
got a
Ganon
double on
falls.
Ganon.
Yeah, a really good double. Ganon falls to CursedAether. We'll try to get him into the chat as well.
And GG's to CursedAether.
Yeah, both players finishing comfortably under the 2-hour mark, which for a lot of people is kind of the ultimate goal when they're learning Randomizer.
Howdy.
CursedAether, GG. Great performance
Thanks.
today.
I wouldn't say great, but the few deaths I had put me back quite a bit.
What did you die on?
I died in the dark room in Eastern, and I died to Mothula, and then some of my routing was just a little sloppy. I wasn't paying attention to what the crystals were, and I ended up running over to Pod instead of going to Ice Palace. But it all worked out, I guess.
Yeah, you were able to catch yourself right before going inside.
Yeah, I had looked at it before going into Swamp and saw that it was blue, so I was like, I'm just gonna go there next. And I was like, was it the pendant or was it like a crystal? So
The death in the dark room, when you're talking about the dark room where you have to kill the Igor to get the key?
yeah.
Yeah, I ran out of magic right before that. And so I was like desperately trying to kill stuff, trying to get magic so I could use the fire rod in that room.
No, I went in, got the key right away, and then I went up to go lift the pot to go towards the door, and I just couldn't find the pot for some reason. So I ended up just dying.
Yeah, he
So
kind of walked into you and just kind of damaging you in that corner.
Yeah, I was just stuck in there. But oh well, I got it the second time going in, but
CursedAether, what was your thought on the seed as a whole?
it was really giving, especially early on. Red Mail right out of Escape, Master Sword right in Kakariko. Like, there was so much stuff right away. There was a lot of options to go to as well.
Yeah, by the time you finish up Death Mountain, you pretty much had access to everything once you got
Yeah.
the hammer off the bumper ledge.
Yep. Pretty much the only thing I was missing was just Kane, and that's why I like full cleared Swamp to find like 20,000 heart pieces. But ended up being in the last chest possible in ice and wound up in go mode from there.
Yeah, it was really nice. This particular seed really did not have any really trolly item. Most of it was pretty much along the path that you needed to go anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Overall, it was pretty good though.
Yeah, sub 2 and really fast.
I messed up a lot of little text too, like the bomb jumps here and there, but it'll come with time, I guess.
I got the Ice Palace bomb jump on the first try, and then I fell in a hole afterward.
I failed it 3 times, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna do it normal, and I just did a normal clear.
And of course, just so you know that you guys did get treated equally, you both had a fall to Troll Dorm 2.
Oh, I was tilted at that point. Falling to Troll Dorm is never fun.
Although I guess the good thing about doing it in Ganon's Tower is that you only fall 1 floor instead of potentially 2.
Yeah, definitely. I almost find the Troll Dorm 2 fight easier from the right-hand side anyways.
I just wish I could learn to hover.
I tried my hardest a few weeks ago to learn. It's not happening anytime soon.
A very particular skill set that you need to do that.
Yeah. Well, I hope it was a good show at least.
Absolutely, it was a privilege to commentate for both of you.
Well, thank you for commentating.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly, Volition.
You know, I actually missed it both times. What was the item on the pedestal in the
Clutch
credits?
cash. Just a big 20.
Oh, I missed it myself. That's funny. Wasn't even paying attention to it.
I wish I had the book at
Bookless.
that point. The first dungeon I did was Skull Woods, and too bad I didn't have the book. Otherwise, I would have checked it.
Hmm. Yeah, I didn't have it at the time that I finished Skull, so I wasn't gonna bother going back if I ever found it. It's pretty much the hunt for Kane and go. And I knew Kane couldn't be on pedestal because of Meyer, but
So how do you guys like the new feature of the uncle giving out a random weapon at the beginning of the seed?
it's interesting. You never know what's gonna happen. I'm hoping I never get bombs, but it'll happen eventually.
I got the first time I played this mode, I got bombs, and I absolutely hated it.
Yeah, Fire Rod's alright. If the first time I had Fire Rod, I just used it on everything and had no magic left, and that's not what you want to do. This time it was just kill what you have to kill and go. Luckily had a bomb drop at the start, but then ended up getting bombs from the chest in the sewers anyways, so.
$156 out of 216. Pretty low for me, really.
161.
Well, even though you guys, had to search a little bit for that Ganon Tower big key, you've had quite a few locations, especially when you consider, Pod and Misery Mire, and that never had to be checked. That
Yeah,
really helped keep that
exactly.
collection rate low.
Yeah, that's 7 items there, so decent chunk of things. Plus no tablets ever checked or whatnot, and
No laser room.
yeah, no laser room at the end, and decent amount of items.
So, any final thoughts about this?
It sucks to lose, but I'm excited for the rest of the matches.
Thank you for the race.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Tracker, and race, or then the host too.
Absolutely. Yeah, GG to both CursedAether and Myria for their great performance, and be sure to give them both a follow on Twitch. Also, be sure to follow the various speedrunning channels. That would be Speed Gaming's 1 through 6 and Link to the Past Randomizer 1 through 4. And thank you once again, Jared. Thanks again, Myria, and good luck in week number 2 of the tournament.
Thank you.
Right.
All right, then looks like there's one match going on right now in Speed Gaming between Buzz Thunder and Badger over on Speed Gaming. That's the last one of the night, and tomorrow there's going to be one at 1 p.m. Eastern Time between Data World and Demon RHK on Speed Gaming too. Good night.
Good night, everybody.